What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I thought I'd make a video to help you protect your collectibles in 2025. Now we're going to go through 4 different companies, and I know there's tons of other ones out there. These are the 4 that I basically will buy from to help protect any of my items. And what's really cool is one of them, you can go ahead and get something custom made. So if you are that Lego collector and you like to collect the box, you can get something custom made. Now, it's not cheap, but you definitely can get it done. So we're going to go through all 4 of these companies, and then you can let me know down in the comments which ones do you use and which other ones do you use that were not mentioned. In this video, we're going to focus mostly on Funko Pop's Black Series figures from Hasbro, and then vintage carded figures. And yes, it will be Star Wars for me. So we're going to kind of start off with what I think is and I think all of these are really good products, but I'm going to start off with the ones I think are the least effective to the most effective. All right, so first we're going to start off with our friends over at $7 a pop, and we are going to talk about their soft protectors. Now, their soft protectors are nice. They are pretty thick, but my biggest complaint with these is that this little lip here prevents it from being stacked. And that's my biggest problem with their pop protectors. Now, one of the things I do kind of find a little bit annoying on these is that they have this little clip here, and this has to be inserted. And it does help push it down, but again, it does not make the top flat. And then you just kind of fold it back in. And I've definitely seen some where it's a little harder to get out than just kind of sliding it. So it does take sometimes a little bit of effort. But again, overall, for what you're paying in price, you are getting a nice quality pop protector. But again, I have kind of switched over to something different, which I'm going to show you right now. Now, Vaulted Vinyl also makes these pop protectors, and they are just a little thicker. But the nicest thing about them is that it's flat. So these are stackable. Now, I would not recommend going higher than like 4 because you don't want them to fall, but I have seen people stack these upwards of 10. So these are really nice because, again, they don't have the little clip in the back, so it is opened here. But again, it's nice and smooth on top, and it seems like it's a little harder on the corners as well, and that is like soft, I guess. So these are the ones that I use for anything, that I value probably $60 and under, maybe $75 and under. I'm never really worrying about if this falls. I know that the one big miscue on these, and I have emailed them a couple times about it, is that when you are putting it together, sometimes the creases when you're folding it to get the pop actually inside the protector, I have had them rip on me. Now, I have had that happen to me with the $7 a pop protectors as well. But these definitely seem like if you're not being a little bit careful, you can easily rip the tabs. But again, overall, these are a little more expensive. But for me, I think they're worth the extra, couple bucks that you're going to pay. So there's your 2 types of pop protectors as far as soft. Next, we're going to head off to our hard pop protectors. And these are definitely going to be more expensive than the soft. So first, let's start off with Funkos. Now, Funko, to me, has improved these because back in the day, there used to be 2-sided. And how annoying was that when the bottom was not great and it would just fall? I can't tell you how many times that's happened. Now, what they've done is they've only made them with a top only, so they don't have to worry about that. These are UV, which makes it nice, and they're nice and hard. And honestly, you can get these anywhere from $4 to $9. It really depends. Try to catch them on a sale when they're doing 50% off. Whenever Hot Topic or Box Lunch are having a sale, it's always a good time to pick some of these up. And whenever you can get one for like 50% off, it's worth it because then you're paying $4.50 instead of $9. But again, the new ones to me are much better than the old. These I usually will throw in, pops that are about $1.25, $1.50, somewhere in that range. A lot of my autographs go in these just because they're a lot cheaper and I have so many autographs. Overall, these are not bad for the $4.50 price. $9, if you're going to pay that much, I'd rather just take the upgrade. So the next one is the Pop Shield from $7 a pop. Now, these are very, very hard. Now, these are not UV protected, and I have tried to spray UV protection on them, and it becomes very, very foggy. Now, I'm sure there might be something else out there. I use something basic you could pick up from Home Depot, and it definitely did not work correctly. But overall, again, you're paying approximately $12.50. At cons they sell them for $15, more or less probably because they don't have to ship them to you. But you can typically get these for around $12.50 to $15, depending upon how many you order. I know $7 a pop always has them available cheaper the more you pick up. So again, around $15. So you're looking at $6 more than the Funko ones. Again, if you can grab the Funko ones for half off, I think for most of your pops is probably going to be a really good way to go. But for these, for autographs like this, these are definitely what I use these for. Just don't keep them in the sun. Next ones can be bought online, or you can also pick them up at your major cons. And this is through a company called CGA. Now, CGA stands for Collectible Grading Authority. And under them, they have other different sections of their company. And one is called AFA, which stands for Action Figure Authority. And this is where you can find a ton and tons of different types of hard protectors. And I'm going to show you some more for other figures here in just a little bit. So this is what it looks like. It's got like a nice little stand. And what happens is that this actually slides out, and that's how you put the product in, and then you close it up. Now, these are nice for a couple of reasons. Number one, that they are really, really nice and clear. I don't ever really see the fingerprints. I don't see too much glare. Yeah, I know we're getting a low glare from the lights and everything in the video, but this is going to be one of your nicer looking views as far as window. Now, the other thing I want to mention about these is these are not very stackable. It's very, very smooth on the top and the rounded corners, and there's no real groove like there are in the $7 a pop ones or even the Funko. So you definitely want to make sure you're not stacking these. I used to buy these before the Pop Shields came out. These were about the same price. I think they were like $10 at cons. So you could always go 2 for $20, which was a good deal. Basically they're better than the Funko, right? But again, the one thing I wish they would add is some type of rail here where you could stack them. But again, for some of your special figures or special autographs, that's what I use it for. This is what I use for that. So this is just another option. And again, these are running about $10. And lastly, we have the Holy Grail of pop protectors. Now, there's definitely some positives and some negatives of these, but these are the vaulted vinyl hard pop protectors, and I believe they call them legendary. These are expensive. These are going to run you between $25 and $30 each, depending upon you get them on sale or not. They have the same magnetic lid as the $7 a pop. The only difference, really, in my opinion, is that it's not as squared off. So it does present a little bit nicer, and it does have UV. So I keep my 4 most precious pops in these legendary cases. These are stackable. Everything's very, very similar to $7. I would say the big difference is rounded edges, and it is UV. Very, very nice, but very, very expensive. All right, next we're going to head off to our Black Series figures. Now, Black Series figures, it really depends what you're doing with them. I usually only protect them if they're displayed. So there is a website called Figure Shield, and Figure Shield makes these protectors for the Black Series. Now, there's definitely some issues we have here. Number one, they do come with this little slit right here, and that is supposed to be for the thing that hangs, the figure up on the shelves. I typically do not use that because, when these are shipped to you, these are usually pretty flat. Now, the one issue I have is that they are a little flimsy and they don't always want to stay down. They're not stackable, so you're not going to want to stack them, but they are good enough, I guess, to say that you can protect it. You know, is this going to prevent a dent or something on the corners if it falls? I mean, if it falls a foot or two, you're probably good. But if it falls off a shelf that you have, 6, 7 feet in the air, it's probably still going to bend the box. Now, they do have other ones they have started making that are a little thicker. And they also do have them made for all of the different versions of the different Black Series figures. They also make these for the carded figures as well, where they kind of snap into place. Again, it's just another way to help protect the card, and you can also display it on the stand. Like I mentioned, you don't really want to stack them, although you could probably stack 2, maybe 3, but have them up against the wall or something. But I would not stack them more than 2. They stack okay. This part, again, is not quite as flimsy as the top. And I do think a lot of it has to do with the little tab on top of the Black Series figures. But overall, it does give it some protection and at least gets the dust off of it. Now, you can also buy hard protectors for any of these figures. And there you're going to want to go back to the AFA website. Again, AFA stands for Action Figure Authority, which is a subgroup under the CGA. What I have here is I just actually got a huge delivery because I've been waiting to pick some of these up. And luckily, they had a big New Year's sale where you were getting 20% off your entire sale. So this is how they come packaged. Now, you'll notice right away as I have 2 different sizes. So this is going to be for your thinner type carded figures, ones where the bubble on the card is not that thick. So I'm going to show you how to insert these, and I'll show you the rail system. Again, these are in all of the AFA cases. You can get them also customized, which is really cool. You can get them with the rail, without the rail, and you can also get them actually with wall mounts. Now, this one here, I had this one custom made because they didn't have anything that was really close to this. Now, when you get them custom made, they ask for the dimensions. I think I was a little bit off because it does leave a little room, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it just kind of sits there on the shelf. But just be careful. If you're measuring, you really do want to make sure you're going exact measurements, because what they'll do is they'll take into account when they make it to leave a little room. And I think I probably rounded off. So it's partly my fault, which is why this is a little bit, in the case, a little bit large. But again, it just kind of sits there. And again, it is the same system as far as the slide. All right, so let's go through the last 2 cases I have to show you guys. Now, the first one we're going to do is the thinner, skinnier case. So again, you can see the difference. This one is much thinner than this one. So they all come wrapped in this plastic. As far as shipping, they do an amazing job shipping these to you. Bubble wrap, tons of bubble wrap, and those are all going to be surrounded by little peanuts. All right, so there is a brand new one. Looks nice, very clear. Again, you have the option when you buy these, you can actually buy UV. These are not going to be in the sun, so I opted out of that one. And again, same deal. The only difference is you're sliding them this way, and they are a little tight when they're brand new, so don't force it. I usually just go on each side, and eventually it will come out. So that's basically what it looks like. So it's just a piece of acrylic you're sliding in. Now, when you get to see this, what you want to do is you want that part to be the bottom, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those rails. You can see it right there. You slide it in, and then the top rail is where the top of the card goes. Now, this one, again, is made for ones that are just a little bit thinner as far as the bubble. So I have this New York Comic Con exclusive Darth Vader that we are finally going to be able to put in one of these. So there is that one. So basically what you're going to do is we're just going to slide it in. Now, if your card does not slide in the top like that, you can see it's up here. What you're going to do is you want to get like a ruler or something long and skinny that you can wrap like some microfiber around. And all you're going to do is kind of press down and slide, and that'll get it in there. Because sometimes what happens is if the card is not 100% flat, it'll hit that rail and it doesn't want to go in. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure when you're doing this, you slide it upward into that rail. So you don't want the bottom of the box to be hitting that because it's not going to work. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take our little acrylic piece back and we're just going to slide it back in, making sure that the edge is down. And again, when they are brand new, they can be a little bit tough to get in. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The idea here is to press evenly on both sides. And there you have it. So Vader is now protected. Not only by the Force, by the case. All right, the next one is the little thicker one. So I just picked up the brand new Rebel ship Ghost from HasLab. And I have 6 figures that, well, actually 4 figures came with it. I picked up the extra 2. So I have the entire Rebels crew, right? And what we're going to do is I bought these for those figures. So again, same deal. All we're going to do is just a little bit thicker, you can see. And you'll notice on the next bubble that it definitely is thicker. Same deal here. I'm just going to kind of edge it out there. Just kind of go in the middle. Use the sides if you have to. So we have Kanan Jarrus for the first one. There you go. And you can notice right away, look how much thicker that was than the Darth Vader. So you can see the difference. So this was not going to be able to fit in this. And if it did, you probably would smash the bubble. So that's why I had to pick up a little different size. The nice thing is they're all the same price. They're all $24.95. And as far as these carded ones go, there is no price difference. So that's kind of cool. All right, same deal here. We're going to slide it up. And these are pretty nice looking cards. Now this one is slightly curved. You can see right here, that's not going to go in. So like I said, you want to use the ruler trick to really try to get something in there to press down and then be able to slide it in. The other thing you can do, which you just got to be careful, you can actually use this. So all I'm going to do is place this on the card, and then I'm just going to press and slide it. So you can do it that way too. That one, it does take a little more practice because you don't want to scratch the card. But there you go. Now it's in, and then we're going to go ahead and close this one up. And there you go. Kanan is protected. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these figures in. I'll show you what they all look like before I get on out of here. Let me know what you think about these cases in the comments below. What do you think about the different styles, the different companies? Have you tried a different company that I did not talk about today? Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.